Hi there, my name's Ron Rogers, and this presentation is called How to Handle a Punitive Line Check. Now, some people might be wondering, well, why would a line check be punitive? Well, we had an interesting history at my airline. See, back in '85, we had this little 28-day strike, and some people came in from the outside and they were going to fly the airplanes and kind of put us out of work. But it ended fairly quickly, and now company had a problem. Well, what to do with these guys? So they decided, well, we need to protect them because they came to the company's aid. So, well, we'll put them in the training center. Well, the funny thing was, a lot of these guys really didn't have a lot of training experience, and they didn't know our procedures, our company procedures at all, which was rather hilarious. And I'll talk about that in my training. I'm gonna give you a little thing on my training here. But anyway, my friend Fred, who's been my friend for, gosh, over 3 decades now, he's, yeah, can be a bit cantankerous. He's quite a character, and basically, he doesn't suffer fools gladly. Well, he goes out and he's scheduled for a simulator check as the second officer. He's the second officer of the 727, and he's got one of these guys who, well, he doesn't know company procedures. He really wasn't qualified to be an instructor or an examiner. So Fred kind of didn't appreciate him very well and gave the guy a little bit of grief, and especially when he mentioned company procedures that the supposed check airman didn't have a clue about. So, well, they didn't get along the best. Let's put it that way. So, funny thing happens. He gets out of the simulator, comes to the line, he's flying just a little bit, and all of a sudden, this guy is showing up now to give him a line check. Now, we had line check airmen. The second officers were their own little niche. They had people who were not qualified to be captains or anything like that. They were junior people, but their qualification was to give the second officer a check ride. They had nothing they could say about any other crew member. They weren't qualified. Now, we had line check airmen like myself who were qualified to give check rides to the entire crew. Obviously, captain, co-pilot, and second officer, as the case may be. But the second officer LCA had no authority. So the guy comes on. This is unannounced. Sits down there. Introduces himself to Fred. Of course, Fred knows who he is, and Fred starts going through all his setups and stuff like that. And this guy is just writing furiously in his notebook back there, taking all sorts of notes. And the captain kind of sees what's going on here and wonders, well, what the heck's going on here? And the flight attendant comes in and says, "What you guys like for drinks?" So the captain says, "Well, I'll take a coffee." And the first officer, "What do you want?" Second officer, "What do you want?" And then she leaves without taking this guy's order. So he decides, well, he's going to get drinks too. So he gets up and goes back there to put his order in. And the captain says to Fred, he says, "Fred, shut the door." So Fred shuts the door, and the captain turns to him and says, "What's going on?" And he says, "Well, I had a simulator check with this guy, and we didn't get along very well. And now he's coming to give me a line check. I think he's going to get even." And the captain goes, "Okay, okay, good to know. Thanks very much. Go ahead and open the door." So the guy comes back in, sits down. Captain says to him, "Now let me tell you something. I do things, fairly standard SOP, but not really. I've got my own way of doing a lot of things, and I do things the way I want to do them. And Fred knows exactly how I want things done, and he does things exactly how I want them done to the letter." And the LCA second officer guy kind of looked at the captain for a second, took his page of papers, he folded it over, tore it up, put it in the wastebasket, and sat back there quietly on his hands for the duration of what ended up being just kind of a normal good check ride. Thanks for watching.